Hello everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and New Year's is around the corner. This is going to be called Lesson 9. What do we have here? Okay, this is, I forgot the name of this chart, but what we're doing is fitting cage shapes to this 7L here. And as you can see, here's this 7L basic pattern. This is the basic repeating pattern that was constructed by these pentatonic building blocks. So this is the C shape that would be on the beginning of the guitar fretboard. Okay, so get used to looking at this stuff upside down. You kind of know where I am. Okay, this has what I call the sleeve. The sleeve is just labels on the open strings. Okay, that doesn't mean you play this like this. Alright, that's not what that is. This is actually the label for the open string. So if I wanted that note, I would press down on this thing and it would be simply that everything else. So if I want the next note up, which is the first, which is the F on your guitar, right? Now, if I play this, it's going to come out 2 whole steps down because I down tuned it. So it's an A flat instrument. Okay, so my open E here is actually comes out 2 whole steps down. So the open E comes down 2 whole steps down. So here I'm going to play an E, but it actually comes out as C on the guitar. Alright, so when I press on this first fret here, I'm putting pressure on this little bar here, and it's like that bar now becomes, so this is the note. Alright, but we're talking about, so this is really considered fret 0, the imaginary fret, because you don't press down on it, right? 1, 2, 3. This is the beginning region. So here we are looking at the guitar this way with low notes down here. Alright, so I can get to the you know, because I'm kind of tired, and I did do a little playing. It's but most of it's been head work and then charting. So what I have here is, this is the low note. Alright, this is the high E. And this is where the strings are taught across the nut, they call it. This is the fixed, super fret on the end of the guitar. So I'm looking to fit to this pattern. Okay, what I've got, how did I come up with this pattern is I did the pentatonic scales, and in C it would be 3 5 6 R 2 3 5 6 warp R2. But in actuality, the pattern doesn't warp on pen and paper. Pen and paper, or if you had a bass guitar that was only 4 strings, they don't warp on bass guitar. Guess what? This stuff isn't as strange as it seemed at first. I'm not so crazy after all. Bass guitar does not warp. Dare I say, 5-string guitar, bass guitar does not warp. So bass guitarists are totally familiar with this pattern. Whether they use this pattern or not, they should. If it's a 5-string pattern, it would be perfect for, but they can't make chords the way we do, the way regular guitarists do. They would have to stick to the bottom 4 strings. So if a bass guitar was going to do a an E chord, okay, it would be, well, this is, of course, in the key of C, so it gets a little complicated, okay, because it would be 7, 3, 5 sharp. Okay, so the E, actually, so let's just look at these numbers in order. 3, 5 sharp, 7, 3, 5 sharp, 7. So you do it on piano and it makes sense. 3 is the third, you know. Okay, 5, 5 sharp, and then here's 7. But this is written in the key of C. We got to work in something. And since I was a piano player, you know, ever since before guitar. Actually, I was a trumpet player before piano, but that's, you know, that just taught me how to read music and go along and play it and tap my foot and hit the right note and the rests and all that stuff. So what are we talking about here? Fitting these caged, these are warped now because 5 doesn't go to 7, 5 goes to root. In perfect 4 tuning, 3 goes to 6. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 goes to 2, 6, 7, root, 2. 2 goes to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 go to 7, 5, 6, 7. No, that's a third because that string, these top strings are down tuned on a guitar. All right, so that the pattern has to come up. Okay, but if you look at this pattern, that really helps us with these top 2 strings, because if this is, excuse me, we're looking at, this is the nut of the guitar, so this is this is your normal, you know, it goes like, that's what that is. Da, na, 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 na. Okay, but this is the pattern. Starting on 3, it goes from here, 3, 6, 2. It doesn't want to go to 7, then 3. It doesn't want to go to the 7 there. 3 falls into place back with the 7. So 3 is a 4th up from 7 is 3 again. So we go back into P4 tuning up there. But this, the 5 wants to go to R, not to the 7. So when they change the tuning and then they push their pattern up, their brains up, it made it more accessible on the end of the guitar down here. On the end of the guitar down here, that you can now reach this 7. Otherwise, the note, you know, let's just say imaginarily this was the nut. You know what the nut is? The nut is this guy, big fret on the end, the one with the cuts in it for the guides for the strings. If the nut was this right here, you wouldn't be able to get that 7. But since they warped it over, all right, so this 7 is actually over, you know, over 1, like this. You can get it. So that's an advantage of the warp. Okay, and possibly why they did it. One of the reasons why they did it. Okay. So what the focus of this lesson number 9, is fitting the caged guys to the 7L. Now whether it's warped or not, this is not warped, but this is pentatonic. Pentatonic is like that for C, okay? Now the A shape would start on the 5th of C. So actually this pentatonic over here, up here, starts on the 3rd of C. So it's da 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 root da da. I'm on the 3rd now. 5, 6, root. Okay. With the A shape, it starts on the 5th, so it would be starting like bum 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 bum.